Hi everybody, welcome to Darlingbrough Model Railway. My name's Richard. When you're building a model railway, time and money are two of the most valuable commodities that you're going to invest in your hobby. Now last week I did talk a little bit about time management. This week I want to spend a little bit of time talking about the financial side of it. It can be argued that just starting the hobby is incredibly expensive. Finding a space to set up your layout, building baseboards, setting up electrics, lighting, heat, power, insulation, and all that is before you buy any track or even trailers. But, as I'm about to explain, if you are frugal enough, you can cut the costs down from the beginning. I wanted to build a model railway for a long time, many years. It was agreed that I could have a shed in which I could set up my model railway. The only problem was the lack of funds to buy a shed. With a little bit of frugal thinking, I did some looking online. One thing I discovered is that there's pretty much always people getting rid of sheds on the Facebook marketplace because they've either upgraded their own shed or perhaps they're moving and they're not going to be able to take the shed with them. If you do a good search, you can usually find a shed very cheap, or, as the case was with my shed, completely free. Now, I didn't collect it myself. I actually arranged for a removals company to collect it on my behalf. They went to the other person's house, collected all of the dismantled parts, put it in a van, brought it to my front door, and even unloaded it into my garden for me. And I paid £35 for that. So £35 was very well spent. Another search on Facebook Marketplace, and I got a bunch of slabs completely free. I did invest in some bags of sand to put under the slabs, as I just wanted to add a little bit of extra support to the slabs. I think I paid about £10 in total for that. It was highly recommended to include insulation on the inside of the shed. So I went back onto Facebook. I actually found that someone was disposing of quite a few bags of loft insulation. Again, this was completely for free. When I went to collect the insulation, he even threw in some roofing felt as well. The insulation, although it may not be the best type of insulation to use for the shed, it was fine. With the wood for the walls, I wanted to make sure that the wood was in good condition and it was new and it wasn't all like kind of rotten away or warped or anything. And also I just wanted to make sure that I had enough to do the full interior of the shed. I think I spent about £75 on some plywood. When it came to the baseboards, again, this was built as cheaply as possible. The wood that I used initially was actually from an old bed that we had that was being thrown out. For the supports, again, that came off the bed as well. In addition, to add some upright supports, we had some wooden shelving units that was in my daughter's bedroom that were being thrown out. I measured them, and luckily, by cutting them exactly in half, surprisingly, it was exactly the right height to put under the baseboards. So the cost of that was completely free. I did use some brackets to kind of fix them to the interior of the shed. These were picked up from like the pound shop, so I spent maybe a couple of pound on those. And then of course the screws, they were just sort of some I had left over. Maybe I've spent about another £5 maybe on screws as well. So all in all, I managed to obtain a shed, erect it on a nice solid foundation, insulate it, install internal walls, and hand build baseboards which will become the foundation of the layout for around about £130. Just for a comparison, I had a look at what the potential costs could have been if I had spent out and bought everything brand new. And as you can see, I've saved myself nearly £800, which is huge. If you were wondering where I sourced the new materials, I have put a link to all of the products I've found in the description below, so you can actually check out and validate my claims. So that's just a little bit of an insight into how I got the layout started and how very little money I actually spent on it. It's a hobby that you do want to put what you can into, but if you haven't, then you just have to think outside the box a little bit. Sometimes it does mean that you have to make some sort of compromise. However, to be honest, I don't think that I've compromised too badly. I've got a nice sturdy shed. It's well insulated. It's actually very, very warm in here today. It's well kitted out. It's got solid baseboards, shelving and that sort of thing. And, you know, I haven't spent a huge fortune on it. So it is possible, is basically what I'm saying. What I will do is I will talk about other ways in the future which I will be saving money, or which I have saved money, and I'll be sharing some of my insights in the hope that maybe it helps you guys. Some of you might find it helpful. If you do, as I say, like and subscribe to the video. What I've done is I've put a link to the building of the shed, so that if you are interested, if you've not watched that yet, you can actually watch how I've done that all the way through from beginning to end. So in the meantime, I want to say thank you very much for watching. Continue to build your own model railways. Let me know what you're doing, and thank you very much.